Right. I give all the credit to God about killing this deer right now. He's given me this ability to be able to get on deer like this and figure them out and kill them. It's all him. I'm just the tool that he uses, and somehow I'm hoping that he's using this tool for me to show my faith to people, and that I believe in God and Jesus Christ, and that's truly what's most important in life. Big deer, awesome, but Jesus is king.
I almost shook up. I think I got him. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. That sucker came downwind of me, man. And that's just a testament to FaZe and Black Widow product right there. I was this close to packing everything up. Oh my gosh. This is awesome. Yes!
I just killed the biggest deer I've killed in a couple years.
I don't believe it. First sit.
He was on a string then, come work that scrape that we put the branch butter on yesterday, and he come right in and just power driving with the Mega Meat.
Oh my goodness. What a stud.
We just killed a giant, Javen. He's dead right there. Oh my God. What a giant. We work so hard when we get on deer like this, and I mean, dude, it's just amazing.
What a deer.
Dude.
Scissors. You got it.
I told you it was, dude.
Just got in the tree, got everything set up, while there's 2 deer bedded within 40 yards of me downwind. There's a little buck laying here, and a doe farther down the hill, and their backs are to me. And I know that the wind's hitting them because they're bedded with their back to me, because they always look the way that the wind is not coming. They bed with their back to the wind. Just a testament to how good FaZe is if you do your stuff right. I use FaZe for my human scent, and sometimes I'll smoke my clothes even, like with leaves or bark. Just kind of get that wood smoke on you. That helps a lot too. Pretty cool. I had an encounter here yesterday in this exact spot. Almost same exact scenario when I climbed in the tree with Roman, the deer I'm trying to kill. He was right down there with the doe. He ended up going down the hill with that doe. She walked away. He started to leave. I decided I'd try to call to him, see if I couldn't get him to come right to me. Well, I rattled with the black rack just a little bit. Of course, he goes to the left, tries to come in downwind, and he's coming in fast. And I stop him. I thought it was 33 yards. It was 25. I shot right over his stinking back. He'd freaked out, dude. He ducked like crazy, so I completely blew it. It really stinks filming yourself. I gotta be quiet though, because he's deer laying right here. So hopefully tonight I can redeem myself. Maybe he'll come back through here. I got him on a scrape last night. On camera.
Everybody asks why I like Black Widow deer lures. Well, the proof is in the pudding.
So, my scrape's right here. First thing I'm gonna do, I wanna freshen this thing up to really get this deer paying attention anyway, so I'm gonna put this Black Widow on there. Yeah, baby. I just smoked a giant on a Black Widow mock scrape, baby.
23rd's coming. The 23rd is my day. I've killed 3 big deer on the 23rd of October, and it was the first day of the red moon, according to the Moon Guide, was the 23rd of October of 2021. So I was super jacked about that, and I had figured out enough that this deer was going to a food plot, a big tine clover plot that I'd had about 250, 300 yards away from where I just missed him in the timber. So he could come out of his bedding area and he could either go to the plot or he could come towards me in the timber and head out to the bigger clover field. So it was just a matter of what he was wanting to do. But I was noticing on the camera that there was more deer, and he was showing up on that clover plot just a little bit more. And sometimes, at one point, he had actually hit it in daylight. So I had a redneck ghillie blind back there, and the wind was not right for the tree stand. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go hunt that clover plot. It's been a day since I missed him. The night before, he'd actually been on that clover plot before dark, pushing does around. I'm like, I'm going to go right back there, get in that blind. I haven't hunted it one single time this whole year, and I'm going to sit in it. And I feel like he's going to come to that plot, and he's going to start pushing does early.
I just walked into my plot to get into my blind. Foundation clover right here. This little corner. The rest is just grassy hayfield. I got my redneck ghillie right there. There was deer on the plot. When I got in here, it's raining, but it's supposed to stop here in a little bit. Stop filming yourself.
So after getting into the blind, getting everything set up, I'm feeling super confident. I just have that feeling, For one, it's the 23rd. It's red moon. I haven't hunted this clover plot at all. He's been on it in daylight, and I'm feeling confident.
I love these big expandable broadheads. This is probably the best broadhead I've ever shot right now. It's the G5 Mega Meat. Shoot the prime. Dial this thing where I want it right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my bow down and being I spook these deer off, because I know there's deer bedded not too far down off the bank over in off this plot. I'm going to grab my rattling antlers, my black rack, and I'm just going to tickle them. I do that a lot because then it sounds like 2 younger bucks or something like that up here on the plot. Just kind of getting after it a little bit, feeding, just being deer, cordial, whatever, just social. And it calms the other deer down. Sometimes they come right back out. This deer I'm hunting, I've been on him for a while. All week I've been after him. I had an encounter with him in the woods. I missed him, but you'll see that on the GoPro footage. Climbed in the stand and there he was. It was a real bummer deal. So I was heartbroken, but I got right back on him. I had another encounter with him in the timber, but he was too far off. I couldn't even get him on film. I just watched him with the binoculars. I figured out then where he was bedded and kind of what his nightly pattern was. He's been hitting my Black Widow mock scrapes every night in the front of the farm. Well, I knew he had to be going somewhere, so I got this little tiny big tine foundation clover plot tucked in the back of this hayfield back here in the front of it. And there's, thick bedding all around. I've never had his picture back here. So I put a cell cam up, Spartan cell camera, and I picked him up back here. And I'm like, so that's what you're doing. So he's expanding his range. And so the night that I ended up seeing him, I ended up catching him back here again on camera. So I'm like, all right, in the evenings he gets out of bed, walks up the hill from the bedding area, hits this plot looking around for does, eats a little bit, then he heads back into the timber, works his way back to the front of the farm, works scrapes, chases does all night, whatever. Works his way back in the morning past my timber stand, past that camera, back to bed. So I've tried to catch him in there in the mornings, but he always beats me. Because I don't like to try to go in too early because I don't want to bust all the deer out and then ruin the whole farm. So anyways, I'm going to settle in here. That's the story. He should be out here tonight. It's raining a little bit now, but it's supposed to quit and get high pressure sunny. It's October 23rd. And I've had a lot of luck on October 23rd. I've killed 2 other really big deer on October 23rd. It'd be cool to kill another one. The biggest thing is, it's the red moon, the Moon Guide. I was talking about, and I've been waiting for this day all year. because when I saw that the red moon was hitting October 23rd, I was jacked. So you can see right there, October 23rd, and peak time is in the bedding area, but then 3:40 p.m. is a transition zone, then to field edge. So in the evenings, you want to hunt transition or, food source like this. I know he's going to be here. The red moon could be the one thing that gets him on his feet in daylight.
The biggest battle was going to be getting by with all the does that come out there to feed, because there's a lot of adult does back there on that part of the farm. They come into those plots kind of early, so I was going to have to beat the noses of quite a few deer on this ridge. Lucky enough that I was able to beat all the noses of the deer that I was encountering, and I really feel that's where like the phase system comes into play, using the illusion phase. That whole system of from the soaps to the deodorants and to the lotion, it's a system that seals your skin and just kind of entraps everything, your odors, and the field foam. By walking a little bit, you get a little sweaty, you take that field foam, you rub it through your hair and on your eye, around your face. And it just gives you that extra level of confidence. And I could really see that it was working, having these adult does literally coming in downwind, walking past my blind at 15, 20 yards. These does get past me, I start seeing some buck movement, and man, it's like 40 minutes before dark, and it's real high pressure. All of a sudden, I look to my left, and I can see Roman. But at this point, I got the camera on. I had enough time to get the camera turned on. I get my bow in my hand. I'm self-filming. I'm in the blind by myself. And this ghillie blind has been there like 2 years. It's tucked in. These deer don't pay no attention to it. I've got other deer in front of me feeding in the clover. So I've got the camera on him, but he's kind of doing a slow walk. Like he's walking and eating at the same time. And just can't make it happen. I can't get him stopped. I'm like, don't rush it, and he squeezes by my first opportunity to shoot him. But I'm like, just telling myself, just calm down. There's too many deer out here right now in this field. He's not going anywhere. And sure enough, that's what he does. He starts winding around, just kind of pushing deer around, feeling good, being the big buck that he is. I'm like, he's going to come back and grab one of these does or push him around, sniffing him around, and maybe he'll walk right in front of the blind again. And that is exactly what he did. He bumps this little young deer. She walks right in front of the blind, like literally 15 yards. He's out at about 20, and he's coming right into my shooting lane. I get drawed back. I'm at full draw. I felt really good, like I was, centered or something. I don't know what I did, but I made the worst shot on a deer that I've made in a long time. I made a bad shot on him. I hit him back. I don't really know what happened, but I can't explain it. All I can say was I was super glad that I was shooting a mega meat. The hole that it put in that deer, even though it was back and low, I was like, there's no way he can survive that. I just got to do the right thing at this point, keep my eyes on him as long as I can, and just watch him, be quiet, and get out of there, and just let him lay overnight.
As you can see, now that I'm finally getting in front of the camera, I did not make a good shot on that deer at all. I've been watching him the whole time. I wasn't worried about filming. I filmed him out there a little bit, and then I was watching him with the binoculars. This is the part of bow hunting that can just really depress a person, especially a guy like me that takes it as serious as I do. And I'm not used to making shots like that on a deer, and this deer has just got me frazzled. I missed him the other day.
then I just do this to him. I mean, to say that I'm upset is an understatement. I just had to take a minute and just gather myself up. And now it's raining. But I know that where I hit him, I'm not going to track him anyways. I'm giving him all night into next day. I mean, probably early afternoon tomorrow will be the soonest I would pick him up. He's got a huge hole in him. Thank God I'm shooting a mega meat. I just got another one out. I was trying to get another shot when he was at like 65, but he just was walking straight away. I wasn't going to do that. And then when he got broadside out there and stood, I had all these branches in the way and he was too far. But this thing, I'm banking on this to do its job because it put a huge hole in him. I know he's going to die. I just gonna have to give him time. It's just not how you want to do it. I don't like to make him suffer like that. I hate it. I'm just gonna get my stuff together here, and I'm gonna try to sneak out. Oh, there's no deer here. To me, it's just the ultimate chess match when you're hunting a big deer like this, and you target that specific deer, and you make it happen, and you actually harvest him. I watched him walk off down into the timber real slow. He was definitely hurt. He was breathing hard and heavy. I'm like, he's just going to go in that timber and lay down. So I felt pretty good about it at that point. But, I wanted to recover this deer. I wanted to do the right thing. So the next day, I waited till about 12 o'clock the next day before I went in. And I really took my time, just being super careful by myself. And I had very, very little blood because the guts had plugged the hole up. I felt that the hole was big enough that the deer was probably dead the night before, but I wasn't positive, so I wanted to be extra safe. I'm going in by myself here this morning. I'm gonna park. I know where they walked in. It's starting to rain again, which I knew it was gonna. It's been raining pretty much off and on all night. So I'm just gonna do the best I can, take it easy, see if I can't find him. I don't have a big crew, guys. I'm just gonna tiptoe around, see what I can do. And so we'll see. I'll let you know. I was slipping through the timber, just kind of following what sign I could find. Very little blood, but I was on to him, and I knew that he had to just be in there somewhere laying down. And I'd actually sat down on a stump and said a small prayer, just like, Lord, I don't want this deer to go and, die in vain and not be found, for one. And I hated that I made him suffer like I did, but I wanted to make sure that he got the justice that he deserved, and that I did my due diligence. And so I was just sitting there on that stump, kind of thanking God for the opportunity, for one, to be a hunter and, experience the great gifts that he gives us. There's kind of a trail right here. The last little bit of blood I found was just right there. But there's like a bench down here. I'm wondering if he isn't trying to get down to this bench to lay down. And I got done praying. I stood up, and this is no lie, I took 3 steps, and I looked 30 yards down the hill, and there he is. I don't believe it. I found him. He's right there. That experience, it kind of chokes me up, because I really felt like it was almost like God was truly sitting there with me, or, something. It was just such a feeling. It was really cool. Big rub. Holy smokes. He just laid right there by that stump up against that tree and just died. Oh my goodness. What a stud. Roman, you are a great deer. Oh my gosh. Oh. Sorry you had to die like that, buddy. Oh my gosh. Oh man. October 23rd is a good day for me. Oh my gosh, what a great buck. I'm so thankful for that mega meat right there. That did it right there. It put such a huge hole. I made a bad shot, but the mega meat made up for my mistake and put a huge hole in this deer. So I walked up to him, and I mean, I put my hands on him, and I was by myself again. I'm trying to use the GoPro to do this recovery, and I mean, just what an animal. You know, to be able to go into an animal's lair, we're facing the ultimate survivor, in my opinion. When you start hunting a 5, 6.5-year-old whitetail on their terms, you really are hunting a hard animal to kill. When you can be successful and you can put yourself in those shoes, and it doesn't matter what the deer scores, because that's all relevant to where you live and how you hunt, but any mature whitetail is a unique animal. I don't care if it has a 6-point rack. If it's 5 years old and he's in the hills of North Carolina, that deer is an ultimate tough animal to kill. Compared to, you know, if it's a 5-year-old deer in Illinois or Ohio that scores 160 to 70, they're still the same deer. They think alike. Just one is able to have the genetics to have a bigger rack.
What a great buck. I was deflated thinking that I wouldn't maybe not find this deer with the hit I made, but wow. He's a great deer. Good way to start off Whitetail Edge for the year.
Well, here it is. It's finally stopped raining. Wanted to get some good pictures and video of this deer and give him some justice. This is the buck I called the Roman, and I called him the Roman because of the big tall G3s. He just looked to me like he had some kind of Roman fighter helmet on from the old days, and I fell in love with this deer the second I started getting pictures of him this year. Found out that he was going to one of my big tine clover foundation plots, and the foundation clover is a really good established clover. It's been in there for about 3 years. I'm super blessed to be able to harvest this deer. I'm thankful. Now I got to get the pictures taken of this deer, do him justice, get him drug out of there by myself, and in the back of my mind, all I'm thinking about is my trip to Illinois and Kansas coming up.
On the next episode of Whitetail Edge.
It's that day. Yes! You're not gonna believe it, but I did it again.